Hi, everybody. I'm Carol, and this is Jake, and we're going to be doing Advent of Code Day 12 in Rust-like for anyone who might find that interesting. I'm going to be typing, Jake's going to be pairing with me, and we'll see how this goes. I'm going to share my screen. And we've got the infinite screen share. And I've got my terminal over here. I'm using stable Rust version 113. Got TextMate over here. I have a main RS that I've been using every day because it's mostly read in an input file and print out an answer. And I just have this Advent puzzle code and puzzle function in my libRS, and I've been coding mostly in this file. I also have the input text, which is the input for me for today's problem. So that's all I have locally so far. Now, we both kind of skimmed today's problem. We haven't really talked through it. So today's problem is we're on the top of the bunny headquarters. We're decrypting things. There's a monorail. We have to boot the monorail using a password. And we have to interpret a SemBunny, which somebody thinks they're funny and is calling it a SemBunny instead of assembly. And we have to execute the code to get the password. Okay. So it operates on 4 registers, A, B, C, and D. Start at 0, can hold any integer. Signed, unsigned, 32-bit, 64-bit. This is pretty open-ended here. Copies either an integer or the value of register in register Y. Increase by 1, decrease by 1. Jump to an instruction a number away. That can be positive or negative, so I guess we're doing signed integers.
That'd be my guess, yeah.
But only if it's not 0. And then we've got a small example, and our cat is about to join us. So we're per programming now too. Okay, so after executing the puzzle input, what value is left in register A? And that's what we are ultimately trying to figure out. Where should we start?
So the way that I've been doing most of these is I grab their for example. I paste that into a test because usually they've got some amount of assertions that are listed in the pros, and it's just like, given this input, the output will be whatever it says. Fun thing that I keep finding myself like doing when I'm creating this input is I use the cool like backslash at the end of the line trick, which makes it so that it doesn't care about any of the leading spaces, but then I forget that it also doesn't put the new line there.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing a weird thing where I'm doing like backslash and backslash.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel with that. Let's just do this. How does that?
I mean, the other thing I do is no, I just would do trim usually instead.
Today this looks weird. Other ones I've done this, and like because the text is longer, it doesn't look too bad to me. But let's do this and we'll trim.
Yeah.
So before I forget about that, we're going to say input lines trim. That
no,
that
trim on the line inside the.
Good. Yeah. Good. Okay. Okay, so what they say in the pros here. So would you make a test for each of these? Like this is talking about what each step does.
Yeah,
Would
so
you split these out in other tests?
for some of them that was really complicated, I've been doing that. But in this case, I would probably just start with the final value because that's what they want. They want what value is left in register A for the actual problem. So I would probably just assert that at the end of all of it that the register is, they said.
And I think we're going to want to do an I here.
Probably.
Leaving register A at 42 is the final.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how would you break this down further from here? Because if we run this right now, well, first of all, it's going to complain because I don't have a return value. Got unused variable warnings, and the test fails because 0 is not 42. So this is a pretty big test to try and make this all pass. So I would split this into smaller.
Okay.
So how
So
would you go about it?
the first thing that I see that we could do would be for almost all of the puzzles so far, it's had a lot of text input. So I've been implementing FromStir so that we can use parse.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, because then this could be like lines dot map trim dot parse, and then like feed that. Like, so I picture it like parsing it into a instruction, probably an enum, and then we'll have some like machine struct that holds the registers, and that can take an iterator of instructions.
Okay. So
I would say like the next step I would think would be trying to work on the parsing of each instruction into that enum.
So if we have this,
yeah, so parse.
What do we want to assert?
Yeah, so I would say parse, and then it should, we'll probably have to specify the type that we're parsing into an instruction, but then basically just that it equals a instruction : copy .
It looks like.
So this is copy the value 41 into the register A.
Mm-hmm.
You can go back to the thing there. Okay, so it says copies either an integer or the value of a register into register Y. Okay.
Okay, so the second one is always going to be a register. The first one can be an integer or a register.
Right.
So I think we're going to need something like a from location. And in this case, it's going to be an integer. That.
Yeah.
And then I kind of want a to location, but the to locations are always going to be registers. So I don't know if that's.
Yeah, there's no.
Or like to register, because I want to match the from. Is that weird to want?
Not want, I just would be lazy and not want to type it.
Okay, so register A, string A, character A.
I would probably actually have register be an enum as well.
Okay.
And just reregister : A.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the tricks with these problems is like, what are they going to change in the second half of the day? But since we have a fixed number of registers, an enum feels nice because it's like, what we got.
Okay. So I've watched you code a little bit, and I feel like at this point you would just run the test and then start fixing
Yeah,
errors.
yeah.
Because we know we're going to get a whole bunch of failures at this point.
And also make sure that you get the actual right one.
Yeah. So we've got instruction not defined. So we want this to be an enum. And I know this is going to need to be debugged because we're using it in a test. And so far we have one variant, which is copy.
Yep.
Copy holds a from location and a register. I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but not too much.
Yep.
And from location is also an enum.
Yep. I have found that a lot of like these problems, I don't know, maybe 50, 70% of like the work is this, like you kind of drive out the structure of your program through your types. And a lot of times I actually end up creating like empty functions that just have the right type signatures, so that kind of like, okay, I have this and I want to like get this result. I don't necessarily know how yet. I just know that I kind of want to get there. Okay. So we can start by throwing in an expect in the end there. One thing that is nice eventually is if
Would you really do an expect in a test?
in a test, yeah.
Because it just crashes and tells you, the assertion failed.
Yeah.
And it gives you the line number. Is that not enough for a test?
Oh, you're saying would I use an unwrap?
Yeah. I would probably do unwrap and test.
I might. It wouldn't make me sad because it's so constrained, but I've just gotten in the habit of just never trying to use unwrap.
Okay, so now we're to something interesting.
Yeah.
Which is what you're saying we're ultimately trying to do is implement fromster on instruction in order to be able to parse this.
Right.
Okay, so I actually don't know how to do this like off the top of my head. Oh, hey, we could fix this real quick.
Yeah.
Partially. That's saying that
you'll want
because
it. So while you're changing those drives, like for things like this, I just kind of type out everything I want. So you
but
just ignore me.
You could end up with ones that don't get used if you just type out everything.
It just gets ignored.
Yeah.
Okay, so to do fromster, basically all I would do is here's got the error message, got standard stir fromster. So I would just say I would like copy that thing, and then say impl that for my type. Then compile that, and it'll tell you that it doesn't have one of the trait items, and it will tell you that it doesn't have a function. Maybe the function comes after that. So it wants a type, the error type, because it can fail. Normally for a real project, I would create my own error type, but I've been quick and dirty for these, so I just use box error because it's easy. So I would just type error equals box error. Box error, yeah.
Semicolon or no semicolon?
Semicolon, yeah. And then compile that.
That's really weird to me. I don't do associated type stuff very much.
And then it's missing the actual fromster method.
Well, first it's like, I don't know what error is.
Yeah.
So we need to use this.
Yeah.
Now it's saying missing fromster.
Yep. So this one's tricky because like I just kind of know what the function is, but yeah.
If I do this, will it tell me what the signature should be?
I think so.
Has 0 parameters, but the declaration has 1. Okay, what parameter do you want? Well, so if I add one, will it?
I mean, we know what it is. It's a string, but try putting the
string slice.
Yep. And then it's going to complain about the return type,
Okay.
where it actually does tell you the explicit type that it wants.
Oh, now it says.
Yeah. So I would return a result of self, comma, self, colon, colon, error. This just makes it so that if we change our error type, or if we change, for whatever reason, like the name of instruction, it's one less place.
Like that?
Capital S on that self. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Would you fill this in with like a dummy type here?
Yeah, you can return.
Like we've only got one variant right now.
Yes, if we wanted to, we could just do OK of copy of, or yeah, start sharing copy. And then at least our test should compile and fail for a different reason. Basically saying,
yeah,
we returned that and it was the wrong thing.
Okay.
So then I think for parsing these, it's going to be pretty straightforward. We're basically going to take the string, yeah, split it on white space, grab the first one, and then we'll probably match on it. And then depending on which variant we have, we'll pull some more things off of that iterator. So yeah, so then I would say match on parts next. I'll go ahead and just put the hard-coded value
just
here.
put this whole thing,
Yeah, for now. Because it's basically we're just going to make sure that it can handle.
including the OK.
Yeah. No. Because now we can do the none variant.
None, or like because there's going to be some underscore too. Do we just
you could just do underscore. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So then we can keep doing this. And this is why I like that we've created a bunch of different types. Because basically what I think this will be is, if it's copy, then we will do parts.next and .parse, essentially, on it. So from location and register are all also going to implement from stir.
Okay. So, okay, instruction copy. Instead of this, ew, that's why it was wrapping weird. Oops, I still don't like it. We're going to do parts next. Parse. Expect. Try? Question
so
mark?
it'll be a try, and next can be none. So this has been an annoying thing that I've been like dealing with these. I don't think that'll work.
Yeah,
you have to do
yet.
next dot okay or. I always get that one wrong on the first try. And then a question mark after that. And so that basically says grab the next value off parts. If it's okay, then unwrap it, or not unwrap it, but change it to from an option to a result, and then throw or return the result if we fail, and then parse it as the value that it must be, which it'll know because it's the only type that can fit there. So OKOR needs to have, when it's a none, what kind of error does it become? So this is why we're doing the box error. You should be able to just type a string here. Like,
it's going to be the from location, not parsing.
Or not found.
Okay.
see.
Okay, this is the next thing.
Yep.
And this is the same.
Yep.
We need to add this. This is the no register.
Yep.
2 errors. So this
The
is
same
just
2. Yeah.
that we don't have from stir on from location and from stir on register. Okay.
So now I would basically copy that whole impl to start with. And then this is part of the reason that we wanted to do the self error is because now we can just change instruction to be, yeah.
Okay, so we shouldn't have any white space in here.
Right.
We should just be able to say match S, right?
Yep.
So right now, all we know of is, well, this, yeah.
So in this case, it's going to be either a register, so it's going to be A, B, C, or D, eventually. That's eventually what it'll be. Or it must be a number. So right now, we can just say s.parse. And put that inside of our from location : integer.
And inside of an okay. I'm just gonna get rid of this for now. We'll go back to that. Great. I'm gonna copy this one. And then we got rid of half of that other one. Okay. So this is for register. And again, we're not going to have white space.
And this is going to match on S. And basically, it's just going to be if it's A, and OK of register, we'll go on A. Fine.
We don't know the other ones yet. Okay. So our initial parse test passed now.
Yep.
Just one thing to mention is that all my code is up on GitHub, and I tag each day. So today's will be tagged on GitHub after this. Okay. So the next instruction we have.
I want to do a little bit of cleanup actually before we go to the next thing. The impl standard stir from stir, we should go ahead and just use standard stir from stir and then get rid of the full path in the. I'll use the fully qualified path if I'm just implementing a single trait once, but as soon as I use something twice, I'll probably bring it in. Okay.
All right. So the next instruction that's in our sample. Well, so there are other variants of copy that we haven't handled. And then the other kinds of instructions. So which do we want to finish out copy first?
I think so.
So if we look at the input that they give us, we've got A and B, and we do know that we're going to have registers A, B, C, and D. So okay,
yeah.
let's go do that right now.
So actually, in this one, whenever I have something that deals with every variant of an enumeration, or like 90% of them, I go ahead and I import that whole enum. So at the top of this function, I would type use register : star.
Inside the function?
And then I can just say A, B, C, D. Some people will do that like at the top level to just bring all of the variants into the entire namespace, but I don't really like that because so we should change the.
I'm getting there.
And instead of panic, we should return an error.
Okay.
Because it is very possible that somebody, in this case, you can actually even, because we're just doing box error, you can change this to a format bang and actually say what the unknown register was. So error, yeah, format bang. I think so. Should compile.
Meh.
Oh, throw a dot into at the very end of the format.
Hey.
Okay. What about our other from stir implementation, our middle from stir? We only have integer right now.
We'll have integer.
So that's fine.
I kind of want in the okay, so here's a sample copy.
Okay.
Okay, we've got a pie in the oven, so we're gonna pause this.